And we're back, guys, and this time we're going to be going into the water Chun-Li. Is that her official name? I know some of you are making up some stupid names for her, but I'm just going to call her Water Chun-Li, okay? So for this one, more or less, I only used the Capri because she seemed to be the only unit that could allow me to trigger speed first. That was really the reason why I chose the Capri. She allowed me to go first, and that was enough to clear the stage. Now, I think, yeah, you can see there I'm clicking it. I do this a lot on these trials because sometimes when you're doing it on auto, if you don't click start, there's a delay for some reason, and sometimes that delay can be enough to kill you. So again, whenever you're doing these trials, just tap the little portrait icon just to make sure that your units start the combo chain straight away and you're not sitting about waiting, potentially dying as a result of the CPU deciding it's just going to take a little break and not bother to attack people. But Chun-Li is a bit of a controversial one for me so far based on the trial. Now, I've not read her kit, not going to lie, I've not read her kit. My wife laughed at the background there because unfortunately there was a slight word that came out wrong there, and he picked up on it. Fair enough, and that ties into the name that some of you seem to be giving this Chun-Li, who is water, and she doesn't have a water pistol, but you're saying that she's doing something specific, which I'm not going to get behind. I don't like that as her name. I'm just going to call her Water Chun-Li. But anyway, she doesn't work like Flame Chun-Li. She's not. At least from glancing at her kit, I could not see any kind of team-wide buffs or anything, right? But I've not looked at her cars. I've not really dug too deep into her, but I had a quick look at her fighting spirit. I had a quick look at her passive, and she seems to, unless I missed something on first glance, which I may have, she seems to be doing more for herself rather than for anyone else. And kind of looking at the units here, looking at their statuses and stuff like that, I can't see anything significant popping up on them that suggests that she is necessarily doing anything team wide. But as this kind of trial progresses, I will just keep an eye on that, because if I see an icon popping up, then I know that I've likely missed something. But what I will say is, after Viper, I would not run out and buy this unit straight away. Even if you like the look of this unit, I wouldn't run out and buy her straight away. Maybe wait a week or two, because then that way you'll find out essentially if there's something wrong with her, you know. There's going to be people out there that buy the unit straight away, whether they listen to advice or not. They might know it's not a great idea, but they'll just run out and they'll buy the unit straight away anyway. Those people will discover if this unit is working as intended, okay? And I'm only saying that because of how they handled the Viper situation. Okay, fair enough, I know that there's some kind of compensation in the mall today, which matches up with what people who complained got, which is fair play. It's probably still not enough, to be honest, because they sold a unit that functioned completely differently, then 2 weeks later they could change her. I don't think that's right myself, but there you go. But to avoid something like that happening again, maybe just wait. That's the best piece of advice I think we can gather. Just wait it out, let other people do the testing, let other people find out if a unit is broken, and in that way you're not going to have to carry the can, because you know if the unit is broken, you're not going to get a refund, you're not going to get a fix to the unit that's satisfactory. So I say let it play out, let others take the hit, which sounds awful, but it's going to happen, and then you can learn from that and find out as well if the unit's good. The unit gets a half price sale for the first 30 days, so even if you wait to day 29, you're still going to get the unit at half price. So I would wait it out, that's all I'm saying. Based on a trial, however, I mean she could be a bossing unit, maybe that's why. I mean, sometimes bossing units do terrible in trials, but as you have noticed so far running along here, I have tried to use her as little as possible. That was essentially my tactic on this one. I tried to use her as little as possible, and that seemed to lead to getting a good result. And as I mentioned in the last video, if you watched that one, it's not always a good sign. I mean, okay, it's not a bad sign if the unit's a bossing unit, but units without soul power, how often are they really going to be top tier bossing units? Flame Chun-Li is different because she is a bossing unit, but it's because she's a support unit. So anyway, this is team number 5 now. I reckon this is probably debatably the hardest stage. The next stage could be the hardest stage. It depends. I mean, there's probably 3 hard stages in this one, to be honest. Stage 1, which I did first, stage 1, was quite difficult. This is stage 5, it's fairly difficult. And stage 6 is reasonably difficult, or pretty difficult. So, like I say, I have the feeling that this video is probably going to get a bit more views than the other one I put out for Sakura, so it's probably better that I shared my thoughts about Water Chun in this video. This is in no way, shape or form a review of the unit. I will do that later for both of them. Again, I'll call it more of a limited gut feeling video rather than a review, because I'm not going to be able to really take the units out for a spin, right? My gut feeling right now is Sakura actually looks like she might be decent. This Chun-Li, I need to look at her kit a lot more, because right now I'm not sure she is. So this is the final team. I'll be honest with you, I've obviously cut this out because there's no point. The video would be longer than necessary and people would complain if I didn't do this, so I show you the run. I had to do this a couple of times beforehand, and the key for me clearing this here was starting the combo at a point like I did there, I delayed, so that Beast Zangief hit the interrupt. Now obviously if you want to play manually, you can do that manually, but literally this team worked because I just delayed my start time to allow Beast Zangief to essentially interrupt, and then the team cleared no problem at all. So either play manually there to time the interrupt, or if you just wait and start the combo round about where I started the combo, that would be enough for you, okay? So that's all your rewards. That is that trial in the bag. As far as I know, right, so we're basically in for 2 dead weeks now. I will review these 2 units, okay? After these 2 units, there might be a bit of lull in content from me anyway, because you guys know my upload schedule with videos is totally tied to their content. I mean, there might be the odd video, but there probably won't be that many. We should get a countdown in about a week, which may or may not be a countdown to Overlord Bison. I don't know if it is or it isn't, but it might be. After that, there's actually only 6 unreleased units left from China. I've mentioned this a few times already. I really hope that that is not all they have, because if that's all they have, we run out of content, right? And logically, you would think that if you only had 8 units left prior to these 2 units, then on your release day, when you were about to release something new, why would you release 2 units? You would release 1 unit and spread things out so that things last a little bit longer. So I'm really hoping that the fact that they did push out Chun-Li and Sakura means that they are working on more in the background, because if not, just being completely straight here, after Bison, there'll be a week where we get something new dropping, which is usually 1 unit, so that would leave us with 5 units. Then 2 weeks later, we would get another event. Okay, that event would use up another one of those units, which would leave us with 4 units. Generally speaking, after that, it's then a week where they drop 2 units. Then an event, then we've got 1 unit left. So I hope that they've got something cooking, right? And the reason I say that is because we know one of those units is Summer Yun. After this week and after the event, we are going to be in the summer. Summer Yun is going to be a standard unit. They always release a divination unit along with a standard unit, so that's going to be a 2 unit week. So I really hope they are cooking up more units in the background, because I don't know what happens when we run out of units. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to put the fear into anyone, but I mean, I really hope that in this next kind of run of releases, they don't just push out the unreleased units from China, because if they do, I've said this in another video, so I'm not hiding anything, but if they do just keep pushing out the units that we've not had from China and we don't see anything new, it really makes me think that they're probably not going to have anything new, and the game will just end up going into a state where you don't get any new units, you just repeat stuff over and over, and I don't know how much fun that will be. It won't be any fun for me, because I'll need to stop making content, simple as that. But let's see how things pan out. Like I say, there's probably not going to be much content wise after the 2 reviews I put out later today. Maybe tier list update, that type of stuff, really just to have content for the channel. But that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.